And hello to all my Capricorn friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for September of 2021. Now today they have lined up a storyline spread for you. It is a large, wide net, scattershot spread across all the different Capricorns. That way we end up talking about many different stories. It usually tends to lead to more accuracy because we're breaking up the Capricorn bubble into a lot of different pieces. So the whole idea is to find the story that is right for you. Sometimes multiple stories will resonate. I would consider that more rare than common, but really it's all about finding the one that's right for you. So let's get started. We're going to I should also add that we're going to conclude with an angel divination card. In this case, it will be an oracle card, and that just tells me that they just want to give you a little extra push in a certain direction, a little extra oomph. So we're going to get started. Let's bring you in right now. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. Go ahead and hit the like button and build up the energy in here. There we go. What I'm doing now, I like to do on camera, are my ritual cuts. Basically cuts the decks into 3 different pieces, puts them back together in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Do it with both decks here, and then they're ready to run. So let's see what we got for storyline for Capricorns. September. Still going. Gonna be a lot of stories. There we go. There's our end. For our core. All on camera? Okay. This is the main part I really want you to see. I do have to add a lot of cards to it and separate the stories. Very difficult to do. Looks like we have one here. That's one very large story. Let me get that actually at the very top of my view. We're going to save this one for last. This is going to be a big one for Capricorn. And then we have, let's see... 2, 2, and 2. So here, these 2 and these 2. How many blockages do I have? Just make sure we don't have too many. I think it's fine. 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 10. It's on that cusp. So here's a discard. So that's going to let us know that we're going to keep things the way they are. When it's close to that 60+% blocked or inverted, I like to give them a chance to say, let's revert them back up. It is taught that way that you get a lot more accuracy when you read it upright, but I'm one of those people that read upright and inverted. It basically expands the definition of the tarot and makes 78 definitions turn into 156. So that's part of my accuracy, I do believe. Now I'm getting more cards to describe the different stories. I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum because storyline spreads are so large how they, already, it's just the way it is. Just so big. But I have to get enough cards that I get you the right information and that we, get it right. All right, I'll move this into the camera in just a moment. Let me just make sure I have everything I need here before I get going for that. Okay. So, how are we on camera here? That one's good. That one's good. Bottom's good. Top's going to be an issue. All right, let me, now that you've looked at those 3, let me get that top one in view. For those of you who know what I'm doing and like to see, I like to share. That's about as good as it's going to get. So let's zoom out and let's get to work, Capricorn. Lots of stuff to talk about. We have 4 different stories. They seem to be large in nature. None of them are really small. Okay, so we're going to begin up here. This is going to be story number 1. We have a king coming in. This is more the presence of a king and more kind of the authoritative energy. They told me that this is not so much going to be the physicalness of a king or a person. It's more the energy. And the King of Swords, the swords is a suit of mental, cerebral. So it's really about taking authority over your mind, really keeping good hold of your mental health as well as far as September is concerned. They're telling me that for story 1, a lot of you Capricorns don't have all the information right now. You don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, or information is being kind of withheld from you for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure what that is. The next thing that they show me is it's really time to slow down here, and it's probably you have to relate the two together. They want you to slow down because you don't know all the information. They don't want you acting too soon on this. For a lot of you, this has to do with a home. I don't know if this is selling a home or buying. It could be both for different Capricorns. Really kind of take your time with this. You don't know all the information yet. So if you're buying a house, this could be waiting for an inspection. There may be hidden issues you don't know about. It may be bad neighbors. It may be a multitude of different things. If you're selling a house, same thing occurs. You don't know all the information, perhaps about the people buying it. Maybe it's going to fall through, stuff like that, or just really anything with the house energy at all, your place of residency. It may not just be house. It could be apartment, condo, really home. I have the no place like home card came up. So they're telling me to really be sure about your mindset and how you view this. Be very kind of stubborn, I guess, in your own mind, and take your time with it. Take your time, because they don't want you to rush to action, especially when you don't know all the information and make a mistake. So that is obviously going to be more of my my less common story, perhaps. It's going to affect less Capricorns than these other three, but very good things if that happens to be you in that situation. So let's go down here for story number 2. This story is coming in completely blocked. It's completely blocked because it's either not here yet, or they want me to brush it over, or maybe perhaps take it a little more lightly. This is the Empress card inverted, so this is saying that the feminine, divine feminine energy is coming in blocked. It can also mean birth. It can also mean, so birth blocked, or it can also mean the birth of something new being blocked. So this is when something actually becomes physical new. It's not that a new idea, it's not a new emotional attachment or anything like that. It's something to the touch new. So like opening a new business would fall under that category. So it's coming in blocked. I don't know why. It could be a multitude of different reasons, different for different Capricorns. They do show, I feel like for a lot of you, this is a love attachment. We have heartbreak, getting out of heartbreak. We have joy being blocked. So this whole thing is affecting your divine feminine, is greatly how I feel. You may also, a lot of you are also getting over deceit. I have the deceit card coming in here, theft or loss, or just getting over a loss in general. In total, story number 2 is all about kind of getting over some a nasty, not even nasty, but just getting over a chapter of something, probably with somebody else. I also have the breathe card. That's your advice. They want you to just breathe and just be. This is going to play itself out. This is not going to last forever. This is temporary. It's going to run its course, and then we're going to get you back to the divine feminine. This is obviously a message much more for my female Capricorns. At least the getting over phase shows that the worst is behind you usually. So you can take peace in knowing that that's the case. And as you continue to move on, just breathe. Take things a day at a time. This, like I said, it's a transitory thing. It's not going to last. But for the time being in September, just know that you're going to feel it very strongly. And it's coming in block too. So I don't know really how long it's going to last. It's going to be greatly up to you. That's how I feel when it comes in block, that it's less about fate and more about your choices and the way that you react to things and your perception of the stimuli. So there's story number 2. And, for a lot of you with story 2, getting rid of that energy, that deceitful energy, that's a good place to be. And story number 3, we're gonna talk more about the moon energy here, because that applies greatly to story number 2 also. Let me see what I have here. This story is also coming in quite a bit blocked. It's not as bad as the other one. This, they're saying, it's kind of the good with the bad here. This is for story number 3, I have a lot of Capricorns that are coming out of a really funky, weird period, like extremely. I have the moon energy, which is just the weird, mysterious, doesn't make sense. If you're coming out of a situation like that, and I mean like recent, so this is like July, August now. This is not like a year ago. This is not further than that. This is semi-recent. So we have the moon card. You're coming out of that. Very good to see. They're talking about new health. New health comes up here, or new money. New money is probably less common. It's probably more new health. Getting over some kind of situation. You also may be getting money. I have the Ace of Pentacles. It's a new beginning of some sort. Something new to the touch. Something new, usually health, job, or something like that. I do have some growth that's coming in inverted, so you may not be growing. You may not be expanding the way that you want to in this situation that I'm describing, perhaps with another person too. I have soulmates coming up. So there's two people that have to do with this. Perhaps you're getting out of a funky situation with another person and you're moving into a brighter, better chapter. This is probably mostly for a lot of my Capricorns that are in a relationship, not so much for my single ones. I will bring that up at the end. I'll just kind of tie the context around that for my single Capricorns, just kind of, so you know kind of where things are at for this month. But they also talk about a new idea coming in blocked. So that means that they want you to start thinking of new ideas, new options, new alternatives perhaps for how you're going to deal with whatever they're talking about with this growth that's coming in blocked in the relationship. Now, I talked about the moon energy there. I guess I'll talk about the moon cycles now too, because it relates greatly to story number 2. You know, I always give you a forecast for the moon cycles every single month with my general readings. This is no different. We have the new moon coming in on September the 6th this month. That is Labor Day. Easy to remember. That's the best time to bring something new into your life and to manifest it in. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's you're trying to fix a financial situation, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to bring into your life. The beginning of the month is ideal to do that. Now we have the full moon coming in. That's the energy when you want to get something out of your life. That comes in on the 20th, September 20th this month. So more toward the end is kind of a good target date for stuff like that. So getting people, this deceitful, weird people out of your life thing on story 2. The beginning of the month may not be the best time to do it. Of course, if it is, you got to do what you got to do. But at the same time, the universe will work better for you if you kind of align with the flow of the energy. And that's a good time for that, so the end of the month there. I did put together a little cheat sheet for the moon cycles. It's a reference guide. It's a tool that you can use to help align things, like I said. And that way, when you do that, the universe just flows easier. It's easier to get stuff out if that's what you're trying to do. And it's easier to try to bring stuff in if you're trying to bring stuff in as well. So it's a free reference that I put together. All you have to do is sign up for the newsletter to get that. That's at the very bottom of my website, scottsagent.com. You enter like your first name, last initial, email address. You send that off. I send you back your moon cycles cheat sheet. And that's good through the whole entire year. It's not just good right now, it's good through 2021. And at the same time, if you are already subscribed to the newsletter, you already have it or are getting it. You don't have to do it again. All my people who are subscribed to the newsletter get all the new stuff all the time, all the promotions, and also make sure you follow Facebook too. On Facebook, I do a lot of giveaways on there. So that wraps up story number 3. Let's get into story number 4 and see what they have in store. That is my big one. A lot of stuff going on in story 4. A lot of you really need to take great authority with your work. They're telling me that a lot of you Capricorns have a lot more potential, a lot more things you can do with work. Work, job, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, entrepreneurship. The work corner is very large. So whatever it is for you, even retirement if you're at the right age, is for that. So they really want you to take great authority over this corner. September is a good time to do that. They're saying you have a lot of different options. It may be a time for you to ask for a raise or to look for a higher paying job, or maybe something that you like more, depending on where you're at. They do show me that you have a lot of options. It's good to see. You know, so many options can also be a negative thing because it's almost too much to choose from. So as long as you kind of wrap it up like, you know, this is a good thing, I have a lot of options, but at the same time are decisive about what you're doing with them. Very good things to see there. So I like to see that, Capricorn. They say that you're dealing with little stick fights at work. Usually it's work. It could also be other different areas of your life, but in this case, we're talking about work. It's probably work. Disagreements with equal level people. So if you're the boss, you're fighting with other bosses. If you're like a lower coworker, you're fighting with other coworkers or disagreeing with them. Not a huge thing. Excuse me. It may feel like it's a huge thing, but it's really not, is what Spirit's saying. It's kind of just our human kind of stupid human tricks that we play. Like we think it's a big deal, but it's really not. I have the Tower card coming in, so it's the complete energy change in September. They have an action coming in and going to war. So this may be directly related to the work situation I talked about. This may be something that you just pick up and go instantly without thinking about it, without putting in 2-week notice or anything like that. They show an action being taken and going to war for it. It doesn't tell me it's negative nor positive. I think it's just neutral. You just kind of got to do what you got to do in the situation. You got to do what's right or what feels right to you. There is a possibility of a love attachment in there as well, and I don't know why that's coming through. I do know, a lot of people do meet through their lover through the workplace. It may be something to do with that. Maybe somebody is resistant to this change or doesn't want you to leave, or maybe you're the person that is hesitant to leave because you really like the people or something like that. Maybe you like the people but not the job. Something in regards to that. They want to remind me to remind you. The last card I have here, well, second to last, is a good credit card. It's a reminder to keep good finances. Don't neglect them. Keep them in your focus. It's obviously a priority. Spirit World wants you to make it a priority, so let's not slack in that department. Keep up with your finances in September. Make sure that there's nothing funny going on. Usually it's not an indicator that there is. It's usually quite a positive thing. So that's good to see and to put at the forefront of your priority list if you are looking for another job. Really, the last thing they tell me is chop wood. It tells me to tell you to get to work on this. So it's really not the time to sit back. It's time to be a little aggressive, kind of take action. And, they described it as going to war, but the modern interpretation of that might just be get to work, bust it out, hustle, get going with it. So that's what I have for story number 4. Good things there. Now, I did say we're going to end with an oracle card, an angel divination card, and that's just going to give us a little bit of extra push about what we're talking about here. And it may relate to separate stories. It may relate to just one. They, I think they just give me a general thing here. This is not attached to any certain individual story. I really just kind of have, just in general for my Capricorns, the card is deep knowing. They're telling me that a lot of you have a lot of insight, a lot of aptitude in this department. You know what's right. Really kind of trust your gut, trust your intuition. It's a highly intuitive card as well. Really kind of go with that this month. And when that comes up, I really feel like you're going to be clicking at a high frequency in September. So very important to do the right thing and to manifest, because that's the real power of your consciousness. You co-create your world. Go back to those moon cycles. September 6th, great time to bring stuff into your life, whatever it is. I mean, if you're clicking high, you might as well take advantage of it. That's the way I feel. And this is just validation for that, that you have the ability to do all those things. Now, this is a general reading, and we do have the entire Capricorn bubble energy here that we're sharing with. So getting completely accurate information that's specific to you, you can do that through the context if you're good at picking it apart. But I do offer private personal readings. If that is more your style, I offer those on my website, scottsagent.com. And that wraps us up for here. So we've gone through the entire storyline spread with the 4 stories. We have wrapped up with our oracle card, and that is going to end us for September. I hope that you find these messages well. A lot of good information here. I will see you guys in October and looking forward to it. See you then.